What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always, spitting the hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. Y'all know what I'm talking about: football, basketball, and boxing. And we into football. It's time to continue the countdown. Top 25 quarterbacks in NFL history. Let's get into it. All right, so we're counting down the list of the top 25 quarterbacks. We were on number 21 if you've been keeping up. Based on my criteria and my opinion, at number 21 on my list of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, I'm going to go with a guy by the name of Terry Bradshaw. Played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Four-time NFL champion during the Super Bowl era in the 70s. Terry Bradshaw not only is one of only 3 quarterbacks to have 4 Super Bowl wins or more, he did it in back-to-back fashion for both. Back-to-back for his first 2, back-to-back for his second 2. He also was a league MVP for the NFL. Now, he wasn't as good as protecting the football, threw a lot of interceptions during his time, and he played on a stacked team, the Steel Curtain, as they used to call them, the dynasty of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 70s, arguably the greatest dynasty in football history, some may say. Had great wideouts, had a good running back, and the defense, of course, the Steel Curtain was stellar. But Terry Bradshaw was a leader of that team, number 1 pick in the draft, and his 4 championships can't be ignored. He's number 21 on my list. Number 20, we get into a guy by the name of Troy Aikman. Now, Troy Aikman, also a winner at the quarterback position, also the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. He was not a league MVP, not even an All-Pro. Multiple-time Pro Bowler, protected the ball a lot better than Terry, and was an excellent quarterback in his own right, part of the triplets, the big 3 of the Dallas Cowboys. That was a dynasty in the 90s. They won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years and should have had 3 in a row, which has never been done, possibly 4 in a row, if not for Deion Sanders tipping the scales of power and going to the 49ers back in 1994. Troy Aikman was a great quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, one of the 2 best quarterbacks to ever play for the Dallas Cowboys, and his 3 championships also can't be ignored, and he's number 20 on my list of the greatest quarterbacks. Then we move to some guys who just got it done production-wise day in, day out. One guy who, to me, up until recently, was the greatest African-American quarterback of all time, Warren Moon. Overlooked because at one point in time, black quarterbacks weren't seen as people who could understand the game enough and had enough intellectual ability to be the leaders needed at the quarterback position. But in a league where Warren Moon was overlooked, he was not drafted immediately, even though he had a good college career. He came into the NFL, and during his time with the Houston Oilers in his 10 seasons, got him to the playoffs 7 times. One of the best pocket passers in the game during a time where pocket passing was on the rise, where the quarterback position was elevating in the 80s and 90s. Warren Moon could throw that thing almost as pretty as anybody in the NFL. 9-time Pro Bowler, All-Pro, and is still in the top 20 for career touchdowns for quarterbacks in their time in the NFL. Still holding that top 20 mark. Warren Moon, my number 19 on my list of the top 25. And then number 18, I'm going with Fran Tarkenton, the best quarterback to ever play for the Minnesota Vikings. Look him up if you don't know who I'm talking about. He's not only a league MVP, like Jim Kelly, who I've already talked about. He led his team to the Super Bowl multiple times, just couldn't get the W. Fran Tarkenton was a guy who led the Minnesota Vikings when they used to play outside. They used to call the defense the Purple People Eaters. Fran Tarkenton led them to the Super Bowl 3 out of 4 years. Couldn't quite get the W, even though he played 3 different teams during that stretch. Nevertheless, he was a multiple-time Pro Bowler, league MVP, and All-Pro, as I've already said. And most importantly, when he retired, he was the leader in all-time career touchdowns for a quarterback in the history of the NFL. Since he retired, guys have broken that record a few times, but when he retired, he was that guy, the guy that owned the record for career touchdowns in NFL history. That's my 4 for this list, number 21 down to number 18. Stay tuned for the rest of the list coming up. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is and you know what you're looking for. J Heat Sports Media. Remember to like, subscribe, or hit the bell. Get at me in the comments on YouTube, Instagram, @TheVaultJMU414 on Twitter, and of course, what's up TikTok? Holla at y'all next time.